I write poems in a stockroom. On a phone that's supposed to be in my locker, there's a possibility I could get fired before finishing this next line. I'm just like you, sitting at my degree wondering what all these years of education amounted to. I know a teacher that graduated as a doctor, an accountant that stacks bottles, and a lawyer that works in McDonald's. Didn't you strive for that degree? Wasn't that piece of paper with a number on it supposed to change your life? The irony of what I just said makes me laugh twice, because a clever man will tell you that money is the root of all evil, but a wise man will tell you that money was created by people. And my mum would say, money can't buy you happiness, but it can help. It can help. Because I once saw David Beckham take a free kick. I watched as the side of his Adidas-sponsored boot hit the patent level of the ball at an angle which caused it to travel towards the skies as though it was destined for the heavens. Then as it reached the peak of its momentum, this ball, as though it changed its mind, it switched directions. I watched as the goalkeeper froze, as though his brain was negotiating with his eyes and the laws of physics, and then diving, but a fraction of a millisecond too late. And before the leather swan embraced the FIFA-sponsored ball like it was a prodigal son returning home, I looked at the play and thought to myself, damn, looking at David Beckham, there's more than one way in this world to be an educated man. And take this from me, because I'm an educated man myself, who only came to this realization after countless nights in the library, with a can of Red Bull keeping me awake till dawn, and another can in the morn, memorizing equations, facts, and dates right down to the letter, half of which I'd never remember, and half of which I'd forget straight after the exam and before the start of the next semester. I often found myself running to class just so I could find a spot on which I could rest my head and fall asleep without making a scene. Ironic, that's the only time I ever spent in university chasing my dreams. And then after nights with a dead mind, I'd then find myself in a queue of half-awake student zombies waiting to hand in an assignment. Maybe that's why they called it a deadline. Because right now, there's a kid finishing parents' evening in a heated discussion with his mother, saying, why does he have to study subjects he'll never ever use in his life? And she will look at him blank-eyed, stifle a sigh, think for a second, and then lie. She'll say something along the lines of, you know, to get a good job, you need a good degree, and these subjects will help you get a good degree. We never had this opportunity when I was younger. And he will reply, you were young a long time ago, weren't you, Mum? And she won't respond, although what he implies makes perfect sense, that society's needs would have changed since she was 16. But she will ignore him, grip his hand more sternly, and drag him to the car. And she won't lie, not because she doesn't know any better, not because she still does not know the value of X. She will lie simply because that's what society has told her. You can't let society tell you what you're worth. You can't let society tell you what you're worth. Because I'm still searching for the meaning of life. Because the Oxford Dictionary definition, it betrayed me. Convinced me that life could be categorized in a series of sentences. Maybe that works for prisoners, but I've always wanted to be free. So give me an average chick over a bad bitch. Now that's BS, because my wife is fine as hell. And I've got too much love for the colored girls, but my cousin wants to be a Kardashian. That's cool as long as she acknowledges that not every guy is Kanye West, and that there's very minimal reality shown in a reality show. My wife's mum thinks that one day she'll win the lottery. How do I convince her that with 7 kids, she's already won it 7 times?